One of the interesting aspects of this phenomenon, especially in the 19th century, but also into well into the 20th century, is this kind of effect of luminous pinwheels. They were written about by Charles Fort, the pioneer of this phenomenon 100 years ago. It's pretty fascinating. I don't really know what I think about them, but essentially they're large, rotating, wheel-like patterns of light that people have seen. They'll often come with some kind of disturbance, like boiling or churning water. Now, I know some people do and don't connect these to USOs, and I don't really know what they are. I have to say, the naturalistic explanations of them don't really make any sense to me. I have tried to understand. I don't believe that any scientific efforts have really been able to replicate this. There have been some attempts. These things are often described as multiple football fields in size. And frequently the lights have been described by ship captains multiple times as moving at incredibly fast speeds. They're highly organized patterns of light phenomena, mostly seen in eastern seas, so like from the Persian Gulf out toward like the South China Sea. One I found in the near the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, Gulf of America, sorry. Gulf of Mexico. But most of them are way out in the other area there. So, and I think they seem to be occurring in the shallows, not in the deep waters, from the ones that I've been able to nail down where they are. So I don't really know what they are, but I think that they are not explained and potentially related to USOs. And I just wanted to mention that. This is another illustration that's in the first volume of my book. That's a case from 1949. A U.S. Navy commander witnessed this in the Persian Gulf, as a matter of fact. It's an interesting case. The first case that I started researching, when I mentioned a member of my website was interested in the case, it was this one. It was 1945 by a place called Adak Island, which is part of the Aleutian Island chain, so going from Alaska out to Kamchatka, Russia. This is truly about middle of nowhere territory as you're going to get. So in the summer of 1945, the Pacific War was still going, and a U.S. transport ship called the Delaroff was returning from Japan, going back to Seattle. It was passing by this. It was a number of miles south of Adak Island, but it was in the vicinity, so it's all surrounded by water. And we know about this case from one of the witnesses named Robert Crawford. He was interviewed by many UFO investigators, including Dr. James McDonald, but others as well. So what happened was their sun is sinking low. The crew sees a disc-shaped object rise from the water. It's roughly about 200 feet in diameter. It's a classic flying saucer. It circles around the ship twice. They said it was really strange because we had high winds. That area is notoriously windy. And this thing, he said, was rock solid in the air. Nothing moved it. There's no sound, of course, and they watched it just take off really fast. And as it departed, there was a glint of light that it left behind. So really quite fascinating. So you have to ask, what is hanging out below the water in the northern Pacific near the Aleutian Island chain, and then just apparently checking out this one U.S. transport ship for reasons unknown. But that is what happened. This is a picture that's me from 21 years ago. Note the black hair, the nice big glasses, and if you look carefully, you'll see a lot of glimmers of hope in my eyes as well. I had that happening. The man next to me, though, is the reason for this picture. He was Commander Graham Bethune of the United States Navy, and he was the witness of a really extraordinary event in 1951. This picture is from 2004. I think we were in New Jersey. And so anyway, in February 1951, Graham Bethune was a Navy commander. He was piloting a transport aircraft from Keflavik, Iceland to Newfoundland. And he had 31 passengers on board. A lot of high-level Navy brass were on this aircraft. clear skies, routine flight. Everything was good. But somewhere over the Atlantic, things took a little bit of a turn for him. So it's 1 a.m, and he sees a glow on the water below him. And he points this out to his co-pilot. No one can make sense of this. Like, They check with air traffic control, which says, nope, no ships in the area. So they get closer to this light, and then it vanishes, but then it's replaced by this little yellow, like a little yellow light. And this yellow light shoots straight up, about 10,000 feet in a couple of seconds. So Graham takes manual control of the aircraft. He's thinking, we are likely to have a collision here. The object was so close, it filled the entire view of the cockpit. And then it vanished, and then it appeared off the wing, I think the right wing side. Passengers were knocked out of their seats. Like, this was a very dramatic moment. Graham Bethune sees a dome disc, bright colors, yellow, orange, red. There's a mist, plasma type of mist around this thing. He actually said that he felt, this is just his personal feeling, that it was aware, that it wasn't hostile, but it was just like present. He didn't get a bad feeling from this thing. But anyway, so they tried to pursue it for a little while, but there was no possibility. The headwinds were too strong, and this thing was just gone. One of the witnesses in the cockpit was a Navy psychiatrist who actually told Bethune, he said, I saw it, but I looked away. I could not process it. It's a Navy psychiatrist. He could not handle this. And Graham is thinking, I get it. It's like we're partly afraid of the unknown, but we're even more maybe afraid of admitting it. So they get back on the ground. The crew faces an immediate debriefing. Officials start coming in. They're showing them photographs of all of these types of craft, disc-shaped craft. Did it look like this? Did it look like this? Did it look like this? So obviously, it's clear there were people in the know who knew all about this, obviously. He also learned a little later that radar had tracked this object at 1,800 miles per hour, so super fast. So, but clearly the reaction of the debriefing team really shows this wasn't just some one-off, right? Something obviously was happening, and people in the know already seemed to know. A very well-documented case as well. We've got declassified documents on this. Graham spoke about this extensively, interviewed extensively, so it's out there. This is the Soviet Union, or Russia, during the Cold War has a lot in terms of UFO, UAP, and USO encounters as well, especially considering how tight-lipped that regime was with just about everything. But still, you get a number of remarkable accounts just kind of slipping through the cracks. One figure who surfaced in my research is this gentleman, Professor Andrei Korsakov. He was a very highly respected physicist. He was closely, he was close to the Soviet military. He fought in World War II, and he ended up being a professor at Odessa University. So he moved in the right circles. He had a lot of military friends. He heard all the right whispers.